Marines, I'm Brigadier General Thomas Gorry, the Commanding General of Marine Corps Installations East and the Camp Commander for Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. I'm going to talk to you today about a very serious issue, suicide and suicide awareness. Its implications are far-reaching. They have family implications, mother, father, brother, sisters, wife, children. It also has unit implication. It affects the entire unit, unit morale. It affects the Marine Corps, operational readiness, mission accomplishment are all affected by suicide. Now, my experience with suicide goes back to December 1991. As a young company commander of Echo Company, 2nd Recruit Training Battalion, Parris Island, South Carolina. And I remember the day like it was yesterday. It was a Saturday. We had just come back from PT. The platoon was on training day 4. The platoon came back, did their hygiene, and went out to do close order drill. I was in my office doing paperwork when all of a sudden I heard this faint cry for help. I looked around, I didn't know where it was coming from. Right behind my office was a DI house, and behind the DI house was a squad bay. I ran into the squad bay, and to my horror, I saw a Marine holding another Marine by his legs, lifting him up. And the other Marine was hanging by the pull-up bars with his web belt, trying to attempt suicide. As a company commander, I prepared myself for a lot of leadership challenges, but suicide in a squad bay was not one of them. But between the other fire watch and myself, we stacked footlockers up, and we were able to get the Marine down, recruit down, lay him on the deck. And he started doing convulsions. I can tell you right now, I'm not ashamed to say, I was one scared Marine, because I had a fellow Marine down and I didn't know exactly what to do. So I did what you're supposed to do. You undo his blouse, you undo his boots. I told the Marine to go call 911. Fortunately, the ambulance got here, and I held his hand the whole way. I prayed everything that I could that that young man would survive. And fortunately, I'm here to tell you that through some fast action by the emergency personnel, fast action by the other fire watch, we were able to get that Marine to the hospital. They were able to save his life. And though this incident was an unsuccessful suicide attempt, it had a lasting impact on the platoon, it had a lasting impact on the company, had a lasting impact on me. It had a lasting impact on his family, because as a company commander, it was my responsibility to call his parents and let them know that this individual, that their son was being sent home as a rapid ELS, entry-level separation. And I can just still feel the pain of the parents and the look on their face that this young man, fortunately he was still alive, but he left a lot of questions for a lot of people unanswered. There was a lot of luck involved in that day as well. It just so happened that fire watch, the second fire watch, was making a head call when he heard a rifle hit the deck. He was inquisitive enough to go out and see the other recruit hanging by his web belt, and he was able to reach down and lift him up, and probably kept enough air in him that he didn't pass out and die. If it was in any other squad bay, I wouldn't have heard that faint cry for help. But I'm here to tell you that we can't rely on luck. We, as leaders, have got to get ahead of this problem. And it's an acronym, RACE, R-A-C-E. Engaged leaders know their fellow Marines and sailors. And that's the first one, R, recognize. They're able to recognize changes in behavior. They're able to recognize warning signs and signals. Second one, ask. A is for ask. Do not be intimidated by the word suicide. The third letter is care. C is for caring. Do not be judgmental. Listen to them. Care for them. And if you're caring for them, you're going to do the last one, is escort them. You're going to escort them to the chain of command. There's help available at the chaplain. There's help available for medical. But it's up to you to escort him and take action. If you have a crisis going on, you can always call 911. But if you're having issues, we want to get ahead of the problem. The first number I want you to write down, and I want you to understand, is a National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. 1-800-273-TALK. The Marine Corps also has a de-stress hotline. That de-stress hotline is 1-877-476 7734. That de-stress hotline is, again, intended for you to talk to a trained counselor, somebody that understands the Marine Corps, that is somebody that can get you help. And these are anonymous phone calls. Now, if I can remember those phone numbers, I'm sure you can too. Though that incident occurred over 21 years ago, it still plays very vividly in my mind. We as engaged leaders can get ahead of this problem. One suicide in the Marine Corps is too many. I don't want to attend any more memorial services, and I know that you don't either. So together, we, leaders, never leave a Marine behind. We're all in this together, Marines. Understand race, understand your training, and be that engaged, active leader. Get involved in this problem so we can solve it together. Semper Fidelis.